All right, good evening and welcome to Radio Cayman Sports Extra. I'm your host, Dionne Anglin, and we have some very special guests in the studio with us tonight. I'm holding my headset because usually I can put it in the front, but I have this big bun in my head. So the headset can't hold to the top. But anyway, with us this evening, we're chatting with the Department of Sports. Of course, they're doing the Honoring Women's Month celebration for the month of March. So with us, we have the Department of Sports Assistant Coach Jade Pitcairn. Jade, good evening.
Good evening.
All right, awesome. And we have Dr. Christina Bramwell, a physical therapist, who, of course, will be discussing the importance of exercise and all that, right? And we're going to touch on recovery as well, like we did last time, just because I believe that this is something that people should hear. Right? Everyone in the community should hear about the importance of exercise and recovery following after a strong and heavy workout, right?
Yes.
Okay. In the next segment, we will be hearing from the technical director for Cayman Volleyball. That's Dr. Trevor Thorold, Dr. and Coach Trevor Thorold. There are lots of local and international volleyball tournaments on the horizon, beach and indoor volleyball that's coming up very soon. So we're going to hear about that in just a minute. Stay tuned. We'll be back right after these messages.
Hi, I'm Deputy Governor Franz Manderson, and I'm excited to announce the DG's 5K Challenge is just around the corner. We kick off things in Little Cayman on March 9th, followed by Cayman Brac on March 16th, and the grand finale on Grand Cayman on March 30th. This year, we're supporting the Cayman Islands Girls Brigade, the Cayman Islands Scouts Association, and the One-to-One Foundation, each helping to shape our next generation. Join us in making a positive impact. For registration details, find us on Facebook at DG's 5K Challenge.
Where your group works can have many sounds, telephones ringing, machines humming, or even waves crashing. But no matter what sounds your group hears when they're working, BAF Insurance has a health insurance plan for your group. You can always count on BAF for affordable, flexible group and individual health insurance plans with professional, friendly customer service. We are BAF. Call us at 949-5089. Your health is our priority.
Easter vacation is just around the corner, and Cayman Airways has added multiple extra flights to some of your favorite destinations, some of mine too. Look here, they got seats available now for booking on extra Easter flights between Grand Cayman and Kingston, La Ceiba, Miami, Cayman Brac, Little Cayman, and you can even catch a non-stop flight to Montego Bay for Easter. Check it out. You can visit CaymanAirways.com, contact a local travel agent, or call Cayman Airways Reservations on 949-2311. Oh, don't wait too long though, because these extra Easter seats always sell fast. Be sure to add your Sir Turtle Rewards number to your booking so you can earn more miles for more free trips this year. Well, I know where I'm going. I'll see you on board our uniquely Caymanian airline for Easter.
You are listening to Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands.
Alrighty, welcome back to Radio Cayman Sports Extra. I'm going to have these lovely ladies give us a little shorto on who they are and where they're from, where they work, anything that you would like the people of the Cayman Islands to know about you. And we'll start right here with you, Miss Christina. Dr. Christina.
Hi, good evening, everyone. So my name is Christina Bramwell. I am a physical therapist. I have a doctorate in physical therapy from the University of Miami. I've practiced in both the public and private sectors during my career, but I'm currently at HSA. HSA is actually where I started my career, left for a brief couple years, ventured out into the private sector, and then returned to HSA, so that's clearly home. I currently actually have taken a little bit of a leap into administration the past year, but physical therapy is still obviously very dear to my heart, and I've maintained my license, and I still do practice at times, but it's not really my main assignment anymore. But again, still very dear to my heart.
Right. Awesome. Thank you for that. Jade?
Good evening, everyone. My name's Jade Pitcairn, assistant coach at the Department of Sports. I have a bachelor's degree in sport and exercise science, and I just finished a master's in sport engineering. And I am a national squash player.
Mm-hmm. I wanted her to say that first.
Keep it to the end.
Yeah. Special. It's even more special at the end, I guess. And you're going to talk a little bit of what's happening with squash. I know we have a squash event coming up
We
for
do.
the Department of Sports. Are you going to be heading that as well?
I am, yes. Me
Awesome.
and Marlene West.
Awesome.
We'll
I
be
think I'll
doing
come to that. I've
Definitely.
never played squash in my life, so it'll be my first time getting in that room. And I've been in the room before doing interviews, but I've
Yes.
never took the racket, right? Okay, awesome. So the Department of Sports, they're doing this fantastic job of highlighting women in sports for the month of March. And on International Women's Day, we heard from yourself and Dr. Bramwell. You discussed recovery, and Dr. Bramwell discussed exercise, the importance of exercise, and the importance of recovery. So from Dr. Bramwell, though, I would love to hear how do you feel about this initiative that the Department of Sports has organized for the month of March, and how important are things like these for the community, you think?
The Department of Sports has done a great job. Jade has her schedule out here, and there's so many events during the month of March.
Yes.
Anyone that came to the kind of sort of kickoff event
Yes.
on the 8th at the Southtown Community Center had the opportunity to listen to Jade talk about recovery, and like you said, I talked about exercise, and then Dr. Jillian Lawrence was also there talking a bit about nutrition, and she went into a lot of things. She talked about menstruation and the female lifespan, etc. And so I'm just going to do a quick plug. I'm going to guest host a stretching class this coming Monday, the 24th, March the 24th. That's going to be at the Hub at 6 p.m.
Okay.
It is free to attend. I think, Jay, you want people to let you know if they're coming, though, right? Or people
No,
can just show up?
can
or?
just show up.
Okay, see, perfect. You can just show up. So wear comfortable clothes and come out. My presentation on March the 8th, obviously talked about exercise, and we talked a bit about the two main types of exercise, which are cardiovascular training and strength training. And it was really geared towards the lay person, just how to, increase physical activity in your life, and, giving some tips and tricks how to make sure that your lifestyle is well balanced between cardiovascular training and strength training, and really highlighting that you don't need to go to a gym unless that is one of your goals,
Right.
but it's not absolutely necessary. I touched a little bit on stretching. Jade really went into recovery and talked about stretching a little bit more than I did because that was her topic, but the point of what we're going to do on the 24th is really just go through a little bit of a stretching session, really focusing on the muscles that tend to get tight because we sit so much, right?
Right. Tell me about it.
So, so really focusing on, the muscles at the front of the hips, the hip flexors and hamstrings, back of the leg, and, chest muscles, etc. Just because we do sit so much because we're at computers, and obviously technology has made our lives easier, but then at the same time, it's also made us tighter, right? So we have to strike a nice balance between doing what we need to do in our day-to-day lives, but also remaining mobile.
Right. Yeah. What is one of the most common questions that you've gotten as a physical therapist?
How to fix back pain, probably.
Back pain, yeah.
Which a lot of that, again, stems from a lot of the sitting that we do, a lot of improper lifting, little tiny repetitive motions. Like usually, a lot of times, most injuries in the developed world don't happen because of some type of macro trauma. Like obviously you have times where, you may have a fall or you may get into a car accident, God forbid, or something like that. But most injuries are from these little micro traumas. You're at a computer and you're typing and you have tendinitis, or, you improperly lifted something in your office and you tweaked your back. It's these little things, and really strength and flexibility and stuff like that can really prevent a lot of those things.
That happens mostly with age. As we get older, it's the muscles tighten a lot more. They really do, because when you're younger, you don't really think about stretching. In fact, you don't care. You just run up and on the court, and you've off the field, and you're finished. You just go home. You don't stretch. And the younger we are, we don't really think of these things until we hit like 35, 40, and you're like
invincible for a little bit.
Yeah. And warming up too. Warming up is also very important, right? And the funny thing is with, and you can tell me about squash, but with most teams, warming up is essential. They make sure you warm up.
Yeah.
But it's the stretching down. That's the part that they forget mostly. Most sports usually forget how to cool down, right? And that's actually just as important as the warm up. What are your views on that?
Definitely cool downs are neglected a lot of times.
Yes.
And obviously for obvious reasons, right? You're tired, you're hungry, you got to leave.
Hungry, you hit it. Yeah.
So, but it is very important,
Yes.
right? And again, your cool down doesn't have to be something impressive or long and drawn out.
Right.
You can do whatever activity you were doing for your exercise at a slightly slower rate,
Yes.
and you can also just, do a quick stretch of very specific muscles that you use during that activity. It doesn't have to be something long and drawn out, but realistically, you should be thinking about just bringing your heart rate back to baseline as well, because I think a lot of times we forget about your lungs and your heart as well, and they
Yes.
are more important than your muscles, technically.
Right, definitely. And maybe you could start by also letting us know, how does regular exercise impact both physical and mental health in women?
So, physical activity is associated with so many good things,
Yes.
right? Endorphins, for example, you get that feel good endorphins as soon as you start to move and walk. I mean, I don't know anybody that has said that they worked out and they felt awful afterwards. Like usually I'm not talking awful like sore or anything like that. That's expected. But that they felt like it was a waste
Yeah.
of time, right? The hardest part is putting on your shoes to go for the walk,
Yes.
or putting on your clothes to go to the gym, or whatever you decide to do as your activity. But then once you get there, you feel good.
Refreshed.
Exactly.
Especially when you do it first thing in the morning. It's usually the hardest
Okay, you're
to get up.
you're on your own there.
No, I get you. I totally understand. It's very hard for me to get up as well. But when I do get up and I do exercise, it's an amazing feeling. You just feel like you can take on the world. Whereas when you wait until after the day, when you're already stressed, you got the weight of the world from work, and you're tired, you're exhausted, it's a little more tedious to me on my body after. I don't feel as good as when I do it in the morning, even though I hate waking up early.
Right. It definitely can be. And again, in my presentation on the 8th, I really talked about finding what works for you.
Yes.
So again, for you, mornings work really well. For me, what I like
I
to
didn't
do,
say that. I just said, just kidding.
but
Go
like
on.
for me, I'm the opposite.
Yeah,
Right.
you like
so
the late
I
night.
prefer to do my workouts in the evenings, because
Okay.
then it is a little bit of a mental refresh
Right,
after
okay.
the long day.
It's a good way of looking
Right.
at it.
And then it gets me nice and tired to go to sleep.
Oh, okay.
I've never had a problem sleeping. I know I'm in that age bracket now where I'm going through a lot of bodily changes as well. A lot of my friends are going through things like perimenopause, and they're saying, well, now they can't sleep, etc.
Yes.
And actually working out in the evening can help to kind of tire you out so that you do sleep better.
Yes. Sleep. That's a very important
Yeah.
topic.
Hand it over to Jade. Sleep.
Yeah. Yeah, tell us a little bit about the importance of sleep, especially for someone like me. I love to sleep, don't get me wrong, but my cycle is a bit on the other side, so I'm turned upside down. So I love nighttime. That's my time to cool down, right? And if you give me a chance, if I didn't have to come to work, I'd sleep through the entire day. I'm like an owl,
Yeah.
right? Do you have any sort of advice for other people or women like myself?
Yes, sleep is very important. I don't think people realize that your body recovers when
Yeah.
you sleep.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're only getting 4 hours, 4 or 5 hours, or you're not on a consistent schedule, then, you're messing up your body for the rest of the day, and then it becomes a pattern and everything like that. So 9 hours is a good amount of sleep. I know some, like the iPhone app, for example, has like a sleep app where you can set it reminds you when to go to bed and when
Yeah.
to wake up, so you're at a certain schedule. But yeah, sleep is very important. It sets you up for the next day, and I myself am trying to keep a consistent pattern, especially exercising so much. But yeah, definitely, I think, yeah.
And you hit a nail on the head when you said the importance of sleep and where the healing process comes along
Yeah.
with the body. And it's so true because, after having kids, my lower back was injured a bit. I can't remember the name of the injury, acute something. And funny enough, the more I slept, the better my back felt. More than going to any chiropractor, any physiotherapist, just sleep. And I started to realize that's what my body was missing. More than anything else. It was just sleep. And that first number you hit, 4 hours, I can do that very well. And get up the next day like if nothing, 6 o'clock in the morning, bright as ever. And like my mom was like, how do you do that? Your body's going to collapse one day. Be careful. And it's so true, right? But my clock is not, not on right. So sleep is important, and of course, like you said, like you mentioned, it's a time where the body heals. Yeah. From any injury.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, so true. And Dr. Bramwell, what are some common barriers women face when trying to incorporate exercise into their daily lives, and how can they overcome these challenges?
So I think the main challenges that women face are traditional gender roles, right?
Okay.
And now we live and traditional gender roles, obviously they serve a purpose, but now we live in a day and age where the woman is not just at home homemaking and taking care of kids and doing things like that. Now we're educated, we have careers, we're out doing the 9 to 5 just like how the men were doing previously. But for some reason most women are still expected to be homemaker and caregiver and do all of those things in addition to having just worked a full day, right? Which is probably why you only get in the 4 hours of sleep, right? So, I think, women tend to have a lot on their shoulders, and women, as we know, women get things done, right? Yes. So a lot of times we take on a lot instead of asking for help or really carving out time for ourselves. So again, I think one of the barriers we face is just trying to do it all. And you really need to make exercise and recovery important to you. You need to make them as important as all the other things that you're doing. Because again, if you are not strong, if you are not mobile, if you're in pain, you can't do all these other things that you need to do. So something is going to suffer, right? So you just have to really just carve out the time. And it doesn't have to be a lot of time, right? 20 minutes, going for a walk or something like that. You can take the kids with you. Yeah, she's making a face. I know you guys can't see her, but you can or not take the kids with you. But just doing something for yourself. So finding what works for your lifestyle, right? If you have a pool, maybe going in the pool and swimming a few laps. If you live in an area where it's conducive to walking, just going for a quick walk, or again, taking the stairs at work, just incorporating a little bit more physical activity in your day can go such a long way. And then you don't have to carve out quite as much formal time.
Got you. And how is your walking partner? I know you spoke a lot about your partner at the...
Yeah, I hope she's listening. I told her I was coming on the show. She didn't make it to the presentation on the 8th, but we've actually dropped off of our walking a little bit. We need to get back on it. Yeah. There was beginning of the year is always hard, but we need to get back into it. We've been going to the gym though. Okay. The walking has just suffered a little bit.
Okay. All right. Got you. So for women who are new to exercise, what types of activities do you recommend starting with?
So again, just not to, I promise no shoe is sponsoring me or anything, but walking, right?
Right.
Walking is very safe because again, that's something that the average person is doing anyway, right? Unless you're disabled or something like that, you're typically walking. So you're used to moving your body weight. So that's very safe. So that's a good way to get some cardiovascular training happening. And then strength training, you can use, again, body weight exercise. You can do things like, squats, and you can start very small. You can do a mini squat or a sit to stand even, just sitting up and standing down from a chair until you get comfortable with doing a deeper squat. And again, body weight training is fairly safe because, again, you're used to moving your body weight around for the most part.
Right.
It's cheap, right? Your body's with you all the time. It's effective, right? Because strength training doesn't have to mean using external equipment. I think everybody gets very caught up in strength training. Oh, you need weights, you need bands, you need these things. And those things are all well and good. Right. And as you progress in your program, you can definitely put those things in. But if you're just starting, body weight is absolutely fine.
Yeah, which is what we're also doing in the Meet Today's sessions, using our body weight, which is very important. And they say using your body weight, the weight stays off longer. Is there any truth to that?
I mean, I think maybe subjectively it does because it's easy and you don't fall off of it. Right. So I think you're building a good routine. Yeah. Whereas a lot of times, like, for example, like beginning of the year, the gym is always full of people, right? Because you have your New Year's resolutions, you're preparing for carnival, these things, and then you kind of drop off. Whereas if you're doing body weight training, you're more likely to stick with it.
Very true. Are there any misconceptions about exercise that you frequently encounter particularly when it comes to women's fitness?
If I had $1 for every time that a woman has said, I don't want to do strength training because I'm going to get bulky,
Yeah. Yeah.
like that is one of my pet peeves. That is 100% incorrect. Obviously, everybody's body is different. There are some people that are going to put on muscle easier than others, but for the most part, that is not the case. If building muscle was easy, everybody would be strong and have muscles, right? It's not as easy as people think. And unless your diet is on point, unless your recovery is on point, and unless you're lifting really heavy weights, you're probably not going to get bulky.
Okay.
You're going to get strong, and that's what we want.
Exactly. All right. And for you, Jade, I would love for you to share with us what's next, what's coming up. She touched on it earlier, but her session, which is Monday, what's next for the Department of Sports?
So our next event is actually tomorrow. We have a power bar class by Tracy Hargrave.
Oh,
I believe that was a class that she did last year, and there was a really good turnout. So that's 6 p.m. tomorrow at the hub, the intergenerational hub behind Foster's Airport. The next big event is on Saturday. We're having a goal setting and self-love event. That's by Tristan Wessenhagen and Angela Seeley. So yeah, we encourage as much people as possible to come out to that. It'll be a really good event, and it will hit important topics like goal setting and self-love that I don't think are taught enough.
yeah.
Or so Tristan will take the goal setting part and discuss, how to set goals, SMART goals, kind of be specific but also realistic with your goals, and then a bit on organization and things like that. And Angela will speak more on self-love and the importance of self-love and what it means and everything like that. So, and that event's at 4 p.m., not to be mistaken for the later times that our events have been at. So that's a Saturday at 4 p.m.
And this one is at the
hub as
at the
well.
hub as well.
Yes.
Okay.
And then the next one after that is Dr. Christina's stretch and recovery class on Monday the 24th, 6 p.m. at the hub. And last but not least, we have our grand finale of the squash event Friday the 28th at the South Sound Squash Club.
Okay. Awesome. So I guess we can talk about the squash event next Tuesday.
Yes, definitely.
But for definitely for tonight, it's about tomorrow's session, the power bar.
Yep.
And then on Saturday, that's that discussion, the goal setting.
The goal setting and self-love.
And then Monday,
Correct.
with Dr. Christina.
Yes.
All right. What are you looking forward to most? Either of you. Which event are you looking forward to most?
I'm looking forward to all three.
Good answer.
I'm looking forward to see as many people as possible out at all three events. And yeah, they're great events. 3 of them are really different. So it will be good to see as much people there as possible.
And Dr. Christina, is stretching, like having a stretching class, is that something you do on a regular basis, or it's something that you're just, as a special for the Department of Sports, you're hosting?
Mainly just doing it as a special for the Department of Sports. I would encourage everyone to stretch. There's a lot of great videos on YouTube. I know content really exploded, obviously, during lockdown when a lot of healthcare professionals were doing telehealth. So there's a lot of really great content these days on YouTube that, actual educated professionals are putting out. 'Cause sometimes you do have to be a little bit wary about things that you find online, but there really is a lot of great stuff out there now. And then again, I personally go to Vital sometimes in Grand Harbor because HSA has Brit K health insurance, and Brit K has it's called the Zest Wellness package. So I know obviously Brit K services a lot of other organizations as well, and as a part of our health insurance, we get 2 free classes a week. You can get 2 free classes a week. And for example, Saturdays, it's this hybrid spin and yoga session. So you start on the bike, so you get nice and warm, and then you go in and you do this the stretching portion, and it's amazing. So I would encourage anyone that has Brit K insurance to maybe definitely check that out, because stretching is so important, right? Yes. And having a yoga instructor take you through it to really hit everything is fabulous. Because again, with my expertise, I'm really going to focus on the problem areas, but I'm not going to be taking you through a full yoga session. We're really just honing in on what is typically tight, what typically hurts.
How far do you go? How do I coin this question? Because I know when we're stretching, sometimes we can take our bodies too far and stretch, and sometimes some people pull muscles. Where's the limit? Where do you draw the line?
So when you're stretching, you do want to feel tension,
Yes.
right? Because the point of stretching is to relax the muscle, and then obviously if it is tight, you may be trying to elongate it as well to get some additional flexibility. So you should feel resistance, but it should be, I'm trying to think what the right word is. I want to say pleasurable, but that doesn't sound right. You do want to feel some resistance, but it needs to be something that you can comfortably hold for at least 20 seconds.
Yes.
Because a lot of people, when they stretch, they don't hold the stretch quite long enough. And like the cells that make up your muscles, and not to get too technical, the sarcomeres, they don't start to relax until after like 12 or 15 seconds. So if you're just doing a 10-second stretch, that should be more sort of maybe like pre-activity as part of your warm-up to kind of just prep yourself for an activity, right? Because you don't want to fully relax a muscle that you're going to go and use, right?
Yes.
But if you're stretching for relaxation, flexibility, etc., you really should be holding your stretches for at least 20 seconds. So resistance that you can comfortably hold for at least 20 seconds. Because if something is painful, you're not going to hold that for 20 seconds.
No,
so that means that you've definitely taken yourself into a range that might be a little too much.
Okay, awesome. Are you going to be at the stretching session, Jay?
I will, yeah.
You definitely.
I'm looking forward to it.
Okay, sounds good. Is there anything else that we may have left out?
No, that's all. Just again, thank you to all our sponsors: Ministry of Youth, Sports and Heritage, Queensgate, Cameron Airways, CUC, and Wellies. Those are the big ones. So thank you guys. Thank you guys so much. But yeah, that's all, and we look forward to seeing everybody at the events.
All right, before we go, can I just ask a question? What's the difference between strength training and resistance training?
Resistance training is a form of strength training.
Yeah.
So like we touched on earlier, technically, body weight exercise is strength training.
Right.
Because as long as you're moving your body against some type of resistance, you're strength training. So resistance training is more when you're using external resistance, right? So getting into the weights, the bands, things like that.
Gotcha. Okay. Awesome. Sounds good. Thank you, ladies, so much. I asked all the questions. Is there anything you would like to let the public know? Anything that I may not have asked you that you'd like to get out there to the public before we head out?
I would just say come out to all these great events. They're free to attend. It's a great networking opportunity. Lots of fun, cool women will be there. Some men too, but primarily fun, cool women. So.
I like seeing the men. I like when they know it's Honoring Women's Month. They know it's usually for the women, but the men still come out in support of the month of March. And I think that's amazing. Thank you so much, gentlemen, who do show your support. As I guess I'll see you guys again on Department of Sports, that is. Dr. Christina, thank you so much for stopping by. I appreciate
you for having me.
And all your knowledge. Continue to do what you do best. You're awesome at what you do. Listening to you speak was very inspiring on the 8th of this month.
Good, I'm
very
glad.
good.
I'm glad.
Yeah. And she's always so serious. But now I'm seeing a different side of her. I'm enjoying this side of her, this smiley side. And Jade is always smiling, so you don't have to worry about it. Alrighty, thank you so much. We're going to hear from Coach Trevor Thorold with the Volleyball Association, the Cayman Islands Volleyball Association. Stay tuned.
Hi, I'm Deputy Governor Franz Manderson, and I'm happy to announce the annual DG's 5K Challenge is fast approaching. Join us in Little Cayman on March 9th, Cayman Brac on March 16th, and Grand Cayman on March 30th for this exciting event. This year, we're proudly supporting the Cayman Islands Girls Brigade, the Cayman Islands Scouts Association, and the One-to-One Foundation, organizations dedicated to making a positive difference in the lives of our next generation. For more info on how to register, find us on Facebook at DG's 5K Challenge.
Find out about all the community happenings from nonprofit, community fundraisers, church events, and more with Radio Cayman's Community Bulletin Board 3 times daily. Don't be the one to miss out on the latest information for events taking place every day on all 3 islands. Radio Cayman's Bulletin Board, brought to you by UCCI. Visit www.ucci.edu.ky. Choose your dream and blaze your trail today. And the Lions Club of Grand Cayman, serving the community for over 5 decades. The community calendar, also brought to you by Baptist Health International. Healthcare that cares. Radio Cayman's Community Bulletin Board.
The nation listens. The candidates speak. Subway presents the General Election Debates live in studio on Radio Cayman 89.9 FM and 93.9 in the Sister Islands every Monday and select Wednesdays from 7 to 10 p.m. 2 sessions. One powerful discussion. With Election Day fast approaching, hear what the candidates have to say on the cost of living, housing and development, economic growth, sustainability, education, transport, tourism, immigration, and more. Who has the vision? Who has the plan? Hear it all unfold live, unfiltered, and on the voice of the Cayman Islands. Radio Cayman, 89.9 FM and 93.9. Streaming live on Facebook and YouTube. Visit Radio Cayman's social media pages for debate details. Brought to you in part by Cayman Enterprise City.
Also brought to you by Reflections, UCCI, and Yum.
The Lions Club of Grand Cayman is proud to continue to serve our island community. During the last Lionistic year, they successfully carried out community projects like the Prostate and Colon Cancer Awareness Campaign, site screenings, spelling bees, swim meets, and their community food pantry. The Lions Club of Grand Cayman looks forward to continuing their service during the 2024-2025 Lionistic year and for many more years to come. The Lions Club of Grand Cayman, where there's a need, there's a lion, serving the community for over 50 years. Radio Cayman is excited to announce the launch of the new listener survey. Visit Radio Cayman's website, Facebook, or Instagram pages. Take the survey and help shape the future of your Radio Cayman. Radio Cayman, your voice, your choice, your radio.
Shaken yet standing firm. This is Radio Cayman in the Cayman Islands.
Already. Oh, all right. Welcome back to Radio Cayman's Sports Extra, and we have Coach Trevor Thorold with us, the technical director for Cayman Volleyball. Coach, how are you?
I'm doing great, Dionne. Thank you for having me again.
You're very welcome. You told me off the mic that you left 40 kids at the gym. Are you heading back there after this?
Yes, we have the girls training right now at the Cayman Bay Arc. So we have the under 13s, under 15s, under 17s, and under 19s training. So we have like 40 girls in the gym right now. And so after they leave from 6 to 8, the boys coming from 8 to 10.
Yeah.
So, so I'm heading back there right after.
Oh, that's amazing. I have 40 girls. What do you think when you stand in that gym and you watch how many children fluctuate into your program? How does that make you feel?
It's a testament to what we have been working on for the last 3 years. And the key is to get the kids more involved in some sort of activity. And some of them are gravitating towards volleyball. Mm-hmm. And they are seeing, I think they saw what the boys did in Jamaica in the international competition. Now is their opportunity to elevate their game and compete at that international level. And then we had already qualified for 2 world championships in beach volleyball for the girls. So the opportunities are there. So I think they're working hard. I'm very, very proud of them. You can see, and more importantly, too, the parents are showing the level of interest, understanding that it's not only there needs to be some sort of balance, life balance, and not only the academics. Sport is very important in developing the type of qualities we need in our kids too.
Awesome. Coach, and the Under-19 Volleyball Invitational heads your way on, I think it's the 22nd of this month.
Yes.
Right? And it's for Under-19 men and Under-19 women.
Yeah, we have been trying to put this in place for quite some time.
Yes.
And in the absence, how Cayman volleyball is, there are no clubs.
Right.
So a lot of the stuff is left up to the Cayman International Cayman Volleyball Federation to develop. CIS invited us to join with them, to work with them in doing a program. I think they said they did it with basketball and some other sporting activities. So now we are trying it with volleyball, and there has been a great deal of interest in the event. We have, from the youth program, we have 4 teams. The CIS girls, they're mostly comprised of my girls too from the volleyball program.
And
but
CIS meaning Cayman
International School.
Mm-hmm.
They are traveling to Dominican Republic in April to represent, I guess, the international schools.
In volleyball,
yeah,
really?
in volleyball
Okay,
and
nice.
various other sports. So I think basketball, I think football and some other things.
Okay.
So it's an opportunity for them to hone their skills,
Yes.
and it's an opportunity for our girls to show how far they have gotten to. In terms of in a competition setting. So it's great for them to play in this tournament this Saturday. So we're inviting all parents. So I have my young group. I'm actually coaching the under-13s.
Oh,
girls.
how adorable.
I'm throwing them out into the
the deep end.
Yeah, the deep end. So they're kind of excited. They have only been training for like 3 months. So you'll see what they could do in 3 months.
Have you coached lower than under 13?
Well, we have a group of young players. We call it the Ignite program because it's sort of creating the level of interest we need in volleyball for the young age. So we have a group of kids training at the First Baptist Church gym every Saturday. And they are like, my youngest player is 7 years old. So
I did see one kid from basketball stayed back.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they are
Was it
actually,
Isabella?
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes.
So they are actually there. So we have from 11, 10, the younger kids. So we started around 7 years old.
Yes.
And I'm hoping to get to attract more kids to develop their motor skills from very early, because that's one of the things. Like your dad was telling me last Saturday that as kids we walk to school.
Right.
We jog to school, stuff like that. Now all these kids in Cayman Islands, their parents are dropping them to school, so they don't have the opportunity to really
get the exercise, and get mobility that day.
So we want to start at an early age. So we have the young kids coming out every Saturday from 2 to 3:30 at FBC, that's First Baptist Church Gym. So if you hear this announcement right now, you're free to bring your 7-year-old, your 8-year-old, 9-year-old,
that is just
boys
adorable.
and girls. Yeah.
What does that look like? Seeing a 7-year-old play volleyball is just cute.
It's fun because they're trying. And I think the important thing about it, because sometimes I'm doing stuff with my granddaughter too, and she's just 3.5 years old, and I think they look, every little success, and you give them that sort of motivation, generates the sort of qualities that you want in our young female athletes, that sort of confidence, and they're doing well, and they're seeing some sort of success when they're executing the skills. Like I just told our girls in the gym that it's disappointing for me, and I'm moving away, like that within the Caribbean we only have, I think, one female prime minister. Outside of the Cayman Islands. I think it's the one from Barbados, right? Which is, I said,
in the Caribbean.
Yes, in the Caribbean. And we need to push our female players, students and individuals to accomplish a lot more than we are limiting them to right now. So it starts with sports, and it's probably moving on to other things.
Well, we should say 2, because our premiere.
Yeah, I said 2. Yeah,
you said 2?
Our
Okay,
premiere.
I thought you said.
I said
one other.
Yeah,
outside.
one other
Okay.
outside of
Gotcha.
Cayman Islands.
I just wanted to make sure and
yeah.
push that. Yes,
Outside of Cayman Islands.
it's amazing, and the two of them actually met last year, which was incredible to see two powerful women
It's awesome,
on the same stage. Yeah,
because it starts with like sports fosters a sort of teamwork and the ability to work from different angles and stuff like that, and developing the sort of qualities and leadership qualities and stuff that we're trying to foster in our young ladies. It starts in the gym, and the guys are doing phenomenal too. So Cayman Islands has a bright future in volleyball.
Awesome. And all this talk was indoor volleyball.
Yes.
All right. So what's happening with our outdoor beach program?
Well, the beach volleyball is that has always been sort of ahead of
yes, so true.
of
But
indoor
it
volleyball.
sounds like it's the other way around now.
No,
Coach.
yeah. So we're getting a greater deal of interest from
For indoor.
I guess because our kids don't want to be in the sun and stuff like that. But we have created a great deal of success from our beach volleyball program, and I think this year we have really talented kids that will be displaying their skills at the international arena. So we still have the girls who qualified for China, and we are looking to qualify for the next World Championships, which is they haven't selected a country. It was supposed to be in Georgia, but I guess with all that situation in Ukraine and Russia, they have tried to move that. So we have an under-21 World Championships. We qualified for the last one. We're hoping to qualify for this one. And then we have the under-18 World Championships coming up also, because they have designed it in such a way to mimic the Youth Olympic Games, which will be held in Doha in 2025. I mean 2025 now?
Yes.
2026, sorry, my bad. So I'm losing my...
Still early in the year. It's okay.
So we are working towards that. The boys senior team group, they have elevated their game to the next level. So we are expecting at least a top 8 results this year, because we are ranked number 10 in the under 23, but number 12 in the girls seniors and stuff. So we expecting some great deal of improvements from the results, because we have been playing well, but we haven't been able to take the next step the last 2 years. But I think this year I'm looking forward to it.
Awesome. So I see for beach volleyball, the U21 WC Beach Qualifier.
Yes.
That's the 18th through the 20th of April of this year.
But we have actually changed those dates. It's supposed to be held in Cayman Islands here.
Right.
Right. So it's the zonal qualifiers. I think we moved it to June because of, I think in April we have the elections. And we didn't want to saturate the calendar with all those activities.
So the one for Trinidad, that's also in June.
That's the under 18, we have 2 girls, 2 talented, really, really talented kids who are I'm really excited to see them play in that tournament. Even the under 21 tournament here in Cayman Islands, we have 2 really talented girls and guys to represent in Cayman Islands.
And then there are under 19 tournaments, beach tournaments in Jamaica and Aruba as well to be announced.
Yeah, so those are things that some initiatives that I have been working with the Caribbean Volleyball Association to expand, because one of the things that we are starting, I think we start sport at too much of a later age. And our kids need to develop that sort of competitiveness and the necessary tactical and technical abilities at an earlier age. So we have decided to really focus a lot more on the zonal area, on the youth programs, the under 19, under 18.
Right.
And we still have the senior stops. We have like 12 senior stops this year. But all our senior stops we will be sending, say, the Cayman Islands Volleyball Federation, very, very young players. So we'll have them around for quite some time. So they're all like 18 years, 19. So we're looking forward to having them out in those events.
Awesome. And for this Saturday, the Under 19 Invitational, what are the expectations for the athletes competing in this tournament, and how has their preparation been leading up to this event?
Well, the girls have been training, and the guys have been training for a while. And training is one thing, but really exposing them to really the game-like activity is very, very important. So I was very happy that Cayman International School came up with this idea that they wanted to work with us to have this tournament. So I don't know how it will be. I know we have some really talented kids, and they were always clamoring for a while to play within their age group, because we had our kids playing in senior events for a while. There was no school events, and so this is just a start, because I'm looking to have another event for that particular age group later on in the year, where they could really work and compete against their peers and really see how far they have developed.
Awesome. Are there any standout players or teams to watch?
Well, the CIS, the Cayman International School, has a group of girls who have been working for a while.
They've been playing really well.
Yeah, and then I think the Aces girls, we call them the Aces girls. They play in the National League, Senior League, and they will be playing together as a team. A couple of their players will be also, for that group, will be playing for Cayman International School, but those teams are very talented. So the top 4 teams on the girls, the guys, my God, they are really talented. They are very, very good. I think it's getting to them a little bit, so I have to
humble them. You have to humble them a bit.
They have the boys under 9. The only competition they have is really to train with the senior group.
Right.
So they, after Jamaica, they have taken their game to another level. So this is why I think it's very important that we expose our players to international competition. It sort of motivates them to come back here and work harder and stuff like that and reach for another level. And then they see different styles of play, so they sort of adapt to international competition, and we see a different mindset when they're in training. So it's more of a deliberate mindset when they're training. They see more focus and more the ability to work hard. And
Definitely. Can you tell us about the format of the tournament and how the matches will be structured throughout the day?
Well, we have right now on the male level, the boys level, we have 5 teams, and the girls, I think we have 6 teams. Okay. So it's a round robin, and I think we'll have semis and the finals. So we're hoping to accomplish all that within that period, between the period of 1 to 6. So it's a one-day event, and it's going to be our first attempt at it, and we'll see how best we make adjustments based on what transpires this weekend. So I'm excited to see the kids play. They are looking forward to it. So I know some of them are extremely nervous too, but we'll see. We'll see how best.
In saying that, how excited you are to see them play, what will you be looking for most, especially as technical director and coach? Mm-hmm. Are you coaching any team in particular, or you're just there to help and observe?
I'm coaching the youngest group because
group.
I think they look for that sort of support. I think they feel a little more comfortable when I'm around. So our coach, they're all like under 13, okay. 12, 11. Now we have some kids who have recently joined the program who I think will have the ability in the next couple of years to acquire scholarships in the U.S. in terms of if they keep with the program, because you never know. They're extremely tall, they're athletic.
Do we have anyone now that's playing college volleyball?
Right now we have kids who are playing in the UK, in college, and in Canada in college. Two of our players, they led their team to the semifinals of their league in Canada recently. That's Megan McCombs and Marion McCombs. And recently we have Joanna Robinson, who has been doing very good in the UK. The boys also have been playing in the UK. So we have kids who have been playing in the UK. I think for the type of volleyball we are looking at, we need to get our kids
them more
to the US universities.
Okay, US is okay.
Yeah.
All right. So these kids that are playing in the UK, do they come back and join your national programs?
Every time they as soon as they land on the island, they are back training.
Yes.
It's so exciting to see them. And they have, a matter of fact, because they're playing more volleyball in the UK too, as mostly indoor volleyball, we can see the level of improvement. And then they have to adapt a different style of play because there's different types of teammates from various countries within Europe. So now they're learning a little more technical and tactical skills that they didn't have the opportunity to enhance in Cayman Islands in our setting.
Awesome. I would love to have them on the show, the ones that are playing overseas. Yeah, I would love that. Please arrange that for me. And we're going to take a short break. When we get back, we'll talk a little bit more about the U19 tournament that's coming up on Saturday. Stay tuned.
Easter vacation is just around the corner, and Cayman Airways has added multiple extra flights to some of your favorite destinations, some of mine too. Look here, they got seats available now for booking on Xtra Easter flights between Grand Cayman and Kingston, La Ceiba, Miami, Cayman Brac, Little Cayman, and you can even catch a non-stop flight to Montego Bay for Easter. Check it out. You can visit CaymanAirways.com, contact a local travel agent, or call Cayman Airways Reservations on 949-2311. Oh, don't wait too long though, because these extra Easter seats always sell fast. Be sure to add your Sir Turtle Rewards number to your booking so you can earn more miles for more free trips this year. Well, I know where I'm going. I'll see you on board our uniquely Caymanian airline for Easter.
Hi, I'm Deputy Governor Franz Manderson, and I'm excited to announce the DG's 5K Challenge is just around the corner. We kick off things in Little Cayman on March 9th, followed by Cayman Brac on March 16th, and the grand finale on Grand Cayman on March 30th. This year, we're supporting the Cayman Islands Girls Brigade, the Cayman Islands Scouts Association, and the One-to-One Foundation, each helping to shape our next generation. Join us in making a positive impact. For registration details, find us on Facebook at DG's 5K Challenge.
Do you have a healthcare question but not sure who to ask? Contact HSA's Patient Call Center to speak to one of our experienced clinical team members. We are here to answer your questions and help guide you through your healthcare journey. Need to make an appointment? Our team can help. Contact HSA at 949-8600 or email info@hsa.ky. At HSA, we are committed to caring for you.
Oh, Cayman moon.
The voice of the Cayman Islands, Radio Cayman.
Shining down from above.
We love our listeners.
Radio Cayman in the Cayman Islands.
Alrighty, welcome back to Radio Cayman Sports Extra. If you're just tuning in for the last 8 minutes of the show, we are chatting with Coach Trevor Thorold, and he is the technical director for Cayman Volleyball. And he was discussing with us about the Under-19 tournament that's coming up this Saturday. And it's from 1 p.m. to 6 p.m. at the CIS School Gym for the Under-19 boys and girls. Right? And you have to be born in 2005 or after to be a part of this tournament. Okay, so tell me something. What challenges do these young athletes face when competing at this level? And how do you help them overcome that?
Well, I think one of the keys is that they have not really worked in a team setting and exposed their skills to that level. And I think since this is their first competition, we will really see how well they adapt to well, I don't want to call it making errors and adjusting and stuff like that, because I always tell my kids it's if you go to a training session and you're not making errors, you're not developing.
Right. Agreed.
You should make at least a minimum of 5 errors in a practice session. Not the same errors, but you're trying to push yourself.
Sometimes we make the same errors. It takes time sometimes.
And how well they're able to adjust after those errors, and how you see that that mental mindset. Because one of the things I noticed when I took the team to Jamaica, that young team, is that every time they made an error, they felt like it was the end of the world. Yeah. So you spent a lot of time trying to get them to focus on not the last error, but the next play.
Yes.
And so that was one of the keys, is really teaching them how to be able to make adjustments quickly after not being successful. Because we look at errors as being a failure, but I look at it as an opportunity to grow,
right?
Opportunity to do something different. Yeah,
it's important to let them have that mindset from a very young age.
Yes,
because you're so right.
Because one of the things I noticed that we said it's good for our kids to fall and to get up and stuff, but as soon as they fall, we try to help them,
right? Instead
of they trying to get themselves up for themselves and figure out, how they make the next step forward. So sometimes we think we are helping, but we should allow our kids to gain those sort of experiences in order to elevate their way of thinking and problem solving. I put it. That's very, very important.
And this is why it is important for us to get our kids out there, the exposure that they need. And not just one tournament or 2 tournaments a year. Because you find what happened. And it's the same with the majority of the sports on island, where the kids will travel once a year. And that one tournament mean the world to them, because they know they're not getting any more until next year. So when they fail, their heart drop. And it's difficult to get them ready for the next game, because this is on the line for them. Mm-hmm. But have the kids, if the kids are competing every quarter of the year, then you find the mentality becomes more positive.
Yes.
Because they realize, oh, that's okay. I'm preparing for the next tournament. This will help me for the next one.
Tournament, yeah.
Yeah. So this is why it's important for them to keep.
There's too much of a long break between events. Yeah. So the kids, their skills become almost dormant, and then they're trying to.
And there's also sometimes why that is too. It's one coach that's doing too much.
Well, that's our problem right now. We are trying to. So right now, I'm trying to in that area. I'm trying to give the senior national players the necessary skills, because I think as an educator myself, when you teach, you learn.
Right.
So if they're able to disseminate some of their teaching abilities to the kids, then they also are going through the process of learning by explaining that to the younger players. So that's one of the keys. You teach, you learn, and it's an opportunity for them to mentor some young players also. Because the young players, as much as we wanted, they do look up to the senior players and what they are able to accomplish, and they want to be as good as they are.
And it's something I told you off the mic, and it's fantastic to walk into a gym and see 40 kids. And it speaks volumes as to the coach that you are. Not just a great teacher, but your personality says it all as well. And like you mentioned, the kids trust you, right? They love you, they believe in you and what you're teaching. And it's what a lot of the coaches lack. Not just in general, a lot of coaches lack that. They have the talent, but the personality is lacking. It's not always about being able to teach the subject. You have to have the personality along with it as well, I think.
Well, thank you for that.
Yeah, for the kids to rely, for the kids to relate, for the kids to trust you. They need that. They don't need it's so much I can delve into, but I wouldn't. But it comes with more than just being knowledgeable about the sport itself.
I think the kids see me as a restless volleyball mind, and a sports person too. Because when I'm in the gym, if you ever come to one of my sessions, there's a lot of teaching going on outside of the sport of volleyball. You know, there's
which is important as well.
Yeah, so
life lessons.
A lot of things that we speak about, and they will come to me with and stuff like that. So even today, one of my kids was saying that she applied for 5 universities and she got rejected from all 5. So I told her, I said, listen, that's not bad, because every time a door closes,
there's an opportunity for another one to open.
Yeah, opportunities for you, and an opportunity that opens up to another situation. So, and she appreciated that wisdom. So, but the kids, they work extremely hard. My biggest concern is that that we are able to sustain the program. So, you know how just in case that the coaches change and I'm one day no longer here, or whatever the situation is, that the programs are able to continue because we have so many kids. So one of my things is that we focus a lot on mental health issues too, and we could solve some of those problems by investing more in sports and having our kids. May not be a world-class athlete, but they will be able to develop the sort of habits that we want in our kids, strong habits.
And be good citizens after the sport. Some of them may give back to the sport itself, or they may give back to the community in other ways, but it's because of great coaching, having great coaches like you and so many others out there, football, basketball, squash, track and field. It's you guys are doing a fantastic job. Keep up the great work. Thank you so much for being here tonight and for sharing your knowledge, your wisdom, and of course what's going on internationally and locally with volleyball, indoor and outdoor. So we appreciate you. That'll do it for tonight's edition of Sports Extra. If you would like the opportunity to be featured on our show, please feel free to email me at sportsextrakman@gmail.com. I usually take a little long to get to those emails, but I promise you I do see you and I will get to you. You can check out our Radio Cayman Sports Extra social media pages just to keep updated with all sporting activities on island. or you can log on to, of course, Radio Cayman's YouTube channel for tonight's edition of Sports Extra, and Facebook, of course, too. So I'll see you tomorrow night. It's my first time to moderate the political debate. It's the second edition of it. Last night was the first. Fantastic night we had, and we're looking forward to tomorrow night. Myself and Jevi Ebanks will be moderating at 7:30. So stay tuned for that, of course. But in terms of tonight, good night. God bless. I'm Dionne Anglin.
Sports Extra. From 7 to 8 p.m., highlights of local sports around the Cayman Islands. Sports Extra.
It's amazing to see the improvement of the team.
Sports Extra, keeping you informed.